First Moors, beginning in the Renaissance, Moor and Black Moor were also used to describe any person with dark skin. In AD 711, a group of North African Muslims led by Berber General Tariq ibn Ziyad captured the Iberian Peninsula, modern-day Spain, in Portugal. Where did Moors originate from? Of mixed Arab, Spanish, and Amazigh Berber origins, the Moors created the Arab Andalusian civilization and subsequently settled as refugees in the Maghreb, in the region of North Africa between the 11th and 17th centuries. What is a blackamoor person? What is a black Moor person? So-called blackamoors or black Moors were originally black people from North Africa who worked as servants and slaves in wealthy European households. The negative connotation of the term comes from the historical association with servitude and from perception that black Moors were strangely exotic. What exactly is a Moor? Moorland or moor is a type of habitat found in upland areas and temperate grasslands, savannas, and shrublands, and montane grasslands and shrublands, biomes characterized by low-growing vegetation on acidic soil. The boundary between tundra and moorland constantly shifts with climatic change. Who are the true Moors? 1494 to 1554 identified the Moors, Mori, as a native Berber inhabitants of the former Roman Africa province, Roman Africans. He described Moors as one of the 5 main population groups on that continent alongside Egyptians, Abyssinians, Absins, Arabians, and Caffrates. Berber inhabitants, Roman Africans. Who are the true Moors? Do Moors believe in Jesus? As Jesus was the pattern of men in his day and Muhammad for the men in his day, Moorish Americans are to pattern their lives after Prophet Noble Drew Ali. They are to live the divine principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. What language do Moors speak? Hassanic Arabic. The Moors speak Hassanianic Arabic, a dialect that draws most of its grammar from Arabic and uses a vocabulary of both Arabic and Arabized Amazigh words, meaning changed words. So I'm going to say it again. From Arabic and uses vocabulary of both Arabic and Arabized Amazigh words. Most of the Hassaniya speakers are also familiar with colloquial Egyptian and Syrian Arabic due to the influence of television and radio. It's a hybrid. When did the Moors come to America? 1500s. African Muslims were an integral part of creating America from, check this out, mapping its borders to fighting against British rule. Muslims first came to North America in 1500s as part of the colonial expeditions. One of these explorers, Mustafa Zamori, also known as Stephen Vincio, that's Little Stephen. That's what made rootword mad. I'm going to put that up in another video. So, also known as Stephen Tavincio, was sold by the Portuguese into slavery. And that was the first Moor that came to America, family. He got killed by some Zunis, too. He looked like us. You know what I'm saying? They made him come down into South America. And then check this out. He's trying to have children and shit. And he had one of our, one of our shaman, one of our ritual pouches, and they saw that, and they killed him. Who defeated the Moors? Y'all don't talk about this. Charles Martel. At the Battle of Tours near Poitiers, France, Frankish leader Charles Martel, a Christian, defeats a large army of Spanish Moors, halting the Muslim advance into Western Europe. Abdul Rahman, the Muslim governor of Cordoba, was killed in the fighting, and the Moors retreated from Gaul, never to return in such force. That's Frankish. See, y'all got that from them too. What race are the Berbers? Berbers are Amazigh, Berber languages. Romanized Amazigh, singular Amazigh, are an ethnicity of several nations, mostly indigenous to North Africa and some northern parts of West Africa. See, they got tribes within themselves and bloodlines that was just capitalized upon under a nation, see? Hybrid. How old is the Moorish flag? From the 17th century on, when Morocco was ruled by the Alauqui dynasty, the flags of the country were plain red. Plain red. Adopted November 17, 1915, 104 years ago. Design, a red flag. Check this out. A red field with a green pentagram, a five-pointed linear star. Designed by Mullah Youssef. Why are Moors called Moors? Derived from the Latin word Moors, the term was originally used to describe Berbers and other people from the ancient Roman province of Mauritania in what is now North Africa. Over time, it was increasingly applied to Muslims living in Europe. Now check these out. You got the Fez with the tassel, that's the L. That's supposed to represent cosmos, lawgiver, legislative branch. The Bay governs the land, enforces laws of the Elohim, executive branch. Okay? The Bay. Peep this. Peep this, the New Yorker, January 24, 2000. Profile of Mokhtar Taib, a former Mauritanian slave, now living in the Bronx. He was born in 1959. A slave. More specifically, check this out, as he grew up, it was that he was not allowed inside a schoolroom. One of his chores as a child was to take his master's children to school each morning on a camel, then bring them back on the camel to the village. When young Mokhtar tried to stay even to listen through the window, he was chased away. The local Quranic school also turned him away. After he persisted, his master ordered his mother to beat him. She did so, leaving a permanent scar on his right hand. The Badens, also known as white Moors, the Badens, also known as white Moors, are the ruling caste in Mauritania. They are Arab Berber tribesmen whose ancestors established control in the 17th century. The Haritan, check this out, the Haritan, also known as black Moors, are the descendants of black West Africans conquered and enslaved by the Badens centuries ago. Although some Haritan have gained their freedom, many remain in bondage. Taib is Haritan, but when I asked him what ethnic group his father belonged to, he said, "You don't understand. My father has no ethnic group. He was property of the ethnic group, just as cattle is property of." Check this out. Tells how his father escaped the Haritan and are usually held by physical force. He said they are not even always living in the same place with their masters, but they still have a relationship wherever they are. They are still slaves to their master and can call them, and they must come. This struck me as a brave, ferocious, and literally approach to learning English. Evolutionary biologists speak of the juvenilism, juvenilism that domesticated animals undergo, gradually losing their large teeth, long jawbones, and aggression of their wild forebears. A similar transformation is what slaveholding castes ultimately intend for their slaves. And this is a process that Taib has spent his life resisting and reversing. Check this out, y'all. Tells about the anti-slavery group El Horde. His current plan is to improve his English until he can get into a law school here. He dreams of returning to Mauritania to fight for the rights of the Haritan. Mauritania is a country that most people, even within Africa, know little about. Nothing else could explain why 10 years after the last emancipation, slavery for blacks in Mauritania remains check this out, a ferocious reality. Check this out. Mauritania joins the descendants of Arabs and Berbers from the north, known as Badens, white men. White men, I just showed you, it was white Moors, white men, and the black ethnic communities living in the south. Relations between the two have always been tense. Since the independence in 1960, economic and political power have remained firmly in the hands of the Badens. Black slaves have been kept by Baden masters for centuries in the north. Slavery was first abolished in 1905, while Mauritania was a French I can't even protectorate, and again against the Constitution adopted in 1961. But the life of slaves did not improve. A decree banning slavery was passed on July 5th, 1980, but particularly in the North, servitude was abolished only in paper and on paper. Haritin, also referred to as Haritani are a group of closely related North African peoples who are indigenous to northwestern regions of Sahara, especially in the Maghreb. They are particularly found in modern Mauritania, where they are, check this out, plurality, Morocco, Western Sahara, and Algeria. In Tanzania and Libya, they are referred to as Kohuchin, Koenchin, and Kokuchin. The Haritin have been still calmly are socially isolated through the Maghreb, living in segregated Haritin-only ghettos. They are commonly perceived as the endogamous group of former slaves or descendants of slaves. They adopted Islam under the Arabs and the Berbers, and were forcibly recruited into the Moroccan army by Ismail ibn Sahif to consolidate power. Traditionally, many members of the community have held occupations in agriculture as serfs, herdsmen, and indentured workers. Etymology. The etymology of Haritin comes from the Haritani, which is from the Berber word ahadar, Idarni, referring to skin color, more specifically dark color. This word is absent from the Arabic language and has been used by the Sahanja tribe and the Zinta tribe before the arrival of Ben Hassan. See, meaning black, dark color. Get the fuck out of here. Are there white Moors? Europeans designated Muslims. Check this out. Are there white Moors? Europeans designated Muslims of any other complexion as white Moors, despite the fact that the population of most parts of North Africa differs little in the physical appearance from that of the southern Europe. Okay, in Morocco, for example, red and blonde hair are relatively common. White Moors, Badens and y'all. Badens and y'all. Badens and y'all. Real Moor. What's this? It look like something that's over here too. They came with you. This is Baden. What you talking about? This is a Baden too. Badens and y'all. Badens and y'all. Look at this. Badens and y'all. Y'all see it now? The cosmos lawgiver, legislative branch, ill, and the Bay, governors of the land, enforce laws of the Elohim. So you see what this is, but what's this to the right here? What the hell is that? What's that? What's that? Who is that? Who is that? Muslim versus Muslim. Saracen, son of Sarah to the left, Hagarite, son of Hagar to the right. Muslim meaning Muslims are people who follow or practice Islam, a monotheistic Abrahamic religion. Muslims consider the Quran, their holy book, to be the verbatim word of God as revealed to the Islamic prophet and messenger Muhammad. The derivation of Muslim